Welcome to another episode on how LoRa works with Shelly, where we discuss how to use the LoRa communication between Shelly devices that are outside the Wi-Fi range. And this video is going to be a continuation of the episode 6 that I did on this series, when we had these two devices and we used this BLU H&T module to send temperature and humidity readings through this Shelly Gen4 2PM over to the Shelly Gen4. Again, the scenario was that let's assume that this Shelly is in the house, and this Shelly with the Bluetooth sensor is at the far end of the garden where there is no Wi-Fi range, so the two devices are going to communicate over LoRa. So the readings of this humidity sensor is going to be sent over to this Shelly over the LoRa communication. This is why you can see the two antennas here, and there is a LoRa module, LoRa add-on modules on both of the devices. So in that video number 6, I talked about how you can bring the humidity and temperature readings and also the button press on this device. But now I have a new device, a Bluetooth window and door sensor, and also there is a blue motion here. It is under the box, so it doesn't detect my motion, my presence. And we are going to expand the example last time and show how this information can be sent over. So what I'm going to demonstrate, and let me just check a view. Yeah, I think that's the view I'm going to use. So I have the window sensor here, and then you can see on the screen I have a couple of buttons here. So we have the temperature, the humidity. I just started the script and the values didn't come over yet, but they are working. And we have the other buttons as well. They are from the previous video example. And now you can see that there is a window state here and there is an illumination. So this is going to show me the window state and then also the illumination, which is measured by this blue window sensor. So if I open the window and if we just wait for a little bit, then we can see that the state is updated, that the window is open, and also the illumination changed to 89 lux. And if I close the window, then the window got closed and the illumination is updated as well. And the same thing is happening with the motion sensor. So if I remove the cover now and the motion sensor sees me, then I just move around a little bit and we have to wait a couple of seconds, and now the motion information came through. So let's see how these things are working. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the 2PM. So this is the remote device, and I want to show you that it has the H&T, the window sensor and the motion sensor linked to it. And again, I made a separate video how you can use Bluetooth sensors in different scenarios, where if you want to use them in scenes or in automations in the Shelly app, then you have to link it to a Shelly device a particular way in the app. But now we want to use this in locally, so we have to do all the pairing through here. So you go into components, and then in the Bluetooth devices, this is how you specifically pair these Bluetooth devices to this device, this 2PM Gen4, because this is the only way we will be able to use the information from these sensors in the script. And since we are here, I also want to show you that just like with virtual components, every time you create these Bluetooth sensors, they automatically get some IDs assigned to them. So for example, the window and the door sensor is called the BT home device :201. And if you go into the settings, you can see that we have illuminance, window and rotation. We are not going to use all this information, but I just want to show you that, for example, the illuminance is called BT home sensor 204. And the window state, whether the window is open or closed, this is BT home sensor 205. And that's going to be important when we see these messages. And similarly, the blue motion is called BT home device 202. And then it also has an illuminance, which is called the BT home sensor 208. And the actual motion flag, it's BT home sensor 209. So you can see that all these numbers are unique. So when we look at the messages, we will be able to tell which one is coming from which sensor. And actually, I want to go to the scripts to show you this, which again, I mentioned this in previous videos as well. So these changes that are coming from these sensors are going to be status updates. So I have a status handler script, which is, it's very simple. It's like that. But if I start then it will show me, let me clear the console, it will show me all the different status messages. So for example, if I open the door sensor again, so I just move the magnet, then we are getting messages. So we are getting messages from the Bluetooth home sensor 205, the device 201, and also we get some LoRa message as well. But for example, we can see that the home sensor 205 has now a value of true. And the sensor 205 is the window state, so it says true if the window is open. So I'm just going to clear the console, and if I'm going to close it, and now it sends a value of false. And also what I want to show you is we also get some other messages. So for example, BT home sensor 204, and that was the illuminance reading from the door and the window sensor, and now that has a value of 218. And what I found is that these sensors, they send these information at the same time when something changes, like the window is opened or closed, or when the motion is detected or not detected. And we are also going to use this information to send it over in one single LoRa message. So when, for example, in this case, when the window opens, we send over the window state and also the illuminance reading. For the motion sensor, we are just going to send the motion value. But probably from this example, you can see how you can equally use this method to send, for example, battery state, or also send the illuminance for the window sensor, or also send the rotation value of the door sensor. Again, you just have to look at the status handler, and then you have to see the messages in order to tell in which sequence they are sending these information. Because maybe in the window sensor, when you open the window, the opening event is going to get sent first before the changes of the rotation. So you can't really rely on that information. But at least for the illuminance, I noticed that first it sends the illuminance and then the changes in the window state. So that's actually quite smart. And by the way, if you're looking at some of the other status messages, so for example, the switch 0, and you can see all these power and frequency. So those are the power measurement features of the 2 p.m. that are coming from the two outputs, but because they are connected to DC and not AC, they don't have any values. So this is why you see the current and the power and the voltage as 0. But if they would be powered by mains, they will show the values. And again, this information is also something that you can also use to send the values over. But that's not the scope of this video. So now we have seen how we can look at these different messages. And by the way, I also created a cheat sheet of these various messages. So you can see that when I open the window, then I get a message that the component is BT Home Sensor 205. And then in the delta.value, I get either false or true, whether the window is open or closed, that's false, or open, which is true. And then that's the rotation. So then the value is going to show the rotation value, or the illuminance, that's BT Home Sensor 204 in my case. Then you have the illuminance, which is, let's say, we have seen that it was 218, I think. And similarly for the motion sensor, the motion value is actually, in my case, is BT Home Sensor 209. And in the message we get, or the event we get, the component shows the BT Home Sensor 209. And then in the delta and then the value, we get again either true or false, whether motion is detected or not detected. And that's what we are going to use in the script. So now I'm just going to go back to the scripts, because we are going to use this main script. So LoRa BT or remote. And this script is an enhancement of the script that I did for the video number 6 or episode number 6, where we have already done most of the groundwork. And if you remember, there was a status handler here as well. And in the status handler, we already handled the temperature and the humidity updates. And now I have expanded it with 3 more cases. So when we have the window sensor, when the window sensor sends an illuminance reading, So then we check whether the status is an object that we get with the information, and whether the status component is BT home sensor 204. Again, just a reminder, so that's the illuminance reading of the door and the window sensor. And then we are going to save the illuminance, which is stored in the status.data.value. So again, that's the status object and .data.value. And we are going to save that in a variable which is called the illuminance. And I declare this illuminance value here on the top, along with the BT temperature, humidity, and the BT transmit message. And it has an initial value of 0. So it gets updated every time we receive an update from the sensor. And when we actually receive a update from the sensor that the window has been opened or closed, then again we check whether the component is BT home sensor 205 in my case, and then the new state is going to be in status.data.value, again in the example. So that's the whole status message, and .delta, and then .value. That contains the true or false. So in that case, we send a message. Again, we pick a new letter, which we haven't used before, which is I. And then in the next, we send a letter, which is based on that door value. So if it's true, we send the letter O, which says, let's say, open. And if it's false, then we send letter C, which is closed. And then we also send the illuminance value. So we will receive a message, let's say IC200, which means that the Windows sensor is sending a message, is sending C for closed and 200 for illuminance. So that's what we get, we will process on the other Shelly. And then if we receive a message from the the motion sensor, then the component is going to be BT home sensor 209, and then the value is going to be in status.data.value, just like with the Windows sensor. So we send a message, again we pick the next letter J, and then we either send yes or no, so Y or N, whether it's yes as motion is detected or no motion is detected. And that's it. So this is all we had to update in the sender script or the remote script for these 3 different values. And now we head over to the receiver script. But before we do the receiver script, we also have to create some virtual components where we can put this information into. And we already have a bunch of virtual components from the previous example. So garden light, temperature, humidity, gate, doorbell, BT button. So those are things that we had in the past. So I created 3 more. One is the window state, which is a Boolean value. So where is it? New. Oh, I already created 10 of 10. But then you click here, create new, and then you say Boolean. So you do the window state. And it's a label type. It has either closed or open, and I added an icon to it. And I also have a motion state, which is again no motion or motion detected. So false is no motion. And also I created the illuminance or illumination, which is again a label type, and it's lux. And again, just keep a note of the different IDs that these devices got. So the illuminance is number 202, and the window state is Boolean 201, and the motion state is Boolean 202. And now we can start creating, while updating the gateway script, or in this case it's going to be receiver script, because in these examples we are only sending information one way. And this example is again same as, or started as, the one that we did in episode 06. And all I have done is I added the code which processes the information that we received. Again, we are sending 2 types of messages. Either once we start with I, which contains the window state and the illumination, or J, which contains the motion sensor state. So we just have to scroll down into the event handlers, because all the LoRa messages are going to be events. And we already have a bunch of code for message type C, D, E, F, and I think I skipped a couple of buttons, skipped a couple of letters now. And then we have the I messages. So if the decrypted message, if the first character of the decrypted message is I, so that's when we receive a message from the blue window and door sensor. Then we are going to update two things. One, the window state and the illumination value. So the window state is a Boolean with an ID of 2 or 1. And then the value is going to be the first character of the message. And if the first character is O as open, then it's true, otherwise it's false. And then we also update the number, which is the illuminance value. So that's ID 202, so then number 202. And we take the decrypted message from the third digit, because the first character is 0, the second character is 1, and the third character is 2, and then all the way to 100, which, well, it's not going to be 100, but anyway, and then we convert it to an integer value, because all these lux readings are integers, and update. And this is why you see that when we receive a message, both the luminance and the window state updates at the same time, because we are doing both of them at the same time. And if we receive a J message, then we update another Boolean, which is 202. And again, we take the first character of the decrypted message and, the second character of the decrypted message. And if it's Y, then it's true, otherwise it's false. And this is why the motion sensor updates and the other two values update. And that's it. And as I said, you can use the very same examples to bring other values through over Bluetooth as well. You can see that you should be able to do the same with the battery, because again, if I take the PM2 and if I go back to home and all the different sensors, you can see that it still has a lot of stuff that we haven't really bothered. But again, keep in mind that I've done so many scenarios on this Gen4 or Shelly 1 Gen4 that I've already reached the limit of the user definable components. So you can only do 10. So if you have a scenario where, let's say in this example, you have a remote device which has a bunch of Bluetooth sensors and buttons and some other things connected to it, sooner or later you would pretty much get to all the limit of 10, and you won't be able to create another. So then you would need another device which has another LoRa sensor, or maybe have a different way of doing that. Or if you only want to get the battery values, maybe you can just put the battery values into a single virtual components. Let's say the battery value is separated by comma, and then you just have to learn that the first value is this sensor, the second value is that sensor, the third value is that. But yeah, these are the limitations, so you have to work around them, or just use a less number of sensors in these LoRa scenarios, or have completely different sets of LoRa devices, receivers and transmitters. So these are the various options, and that pretty much concludes this example. How you can bring some of these values over from these Bluetooth sensors over LoRa from a remote Shelly device to a Shelly gateway, which is on your Wi-Fi network. As usual, the script for this particular example is going to be in the video description. You will find a link with all the descriptions, what you need, and also the links to the individual codes for the remote and the gateway as well. And also, if you want to purchase any of the devices, then there is going to be affiliated links in the video description as well. But I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next one.